Welcome to Gamersville in Farthest Frontier version 1 release. As you can see, the city is pretty big, it's taking most of the map. It's not like I've put buildings everywhere, but we definitely have a lot. We've covered in this city all of the resources, all of the buildings that the game has to offer, and we went all the way to tier 5. All of those houses are mansions, we have monuments and all of this. I have pressed, by the way, over here this button to take out the UI. You can do the same, but yeah, here we're back with the actual city. Today I want to just do a tour of the city, show you everything that the city has to offer, why I built it the way I did, what I would change if I were to do it again, and things like this. Now if you want to see how I built this from scratch, from the beginning of the game to this situation with many guides along the way, don't hesitate to check in the video description below for the full playlist, where couple of episodes I showed you from start to finish how to survive in this game. That is not the easiest. Also, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you have any questions. I am actually writing right now a couple of guides for this game, so any question that you have I can add them and make sure that I answer them. And last but not least, like the title says, the save for this city is available on my Patreon page. You can find it there. Even if you're not a member, you will be able to get it if you desire, so that you can play it yourself. Okay, so let's actually start by the actual city, the housing districts, or to be precise, the two housing districts, which are almost the same. You know, they're almost copies, and you can add as many as you want. Particularly on this side, there definitely is a space to add 2 more. We have in the middle one market, even if towards the end I started adding a few other markets over here to help with the distribution of goods, because especially for tier 5 they want 4 types of food and many other things, so it was good to have a few more markets. But yeah, basically in the middle you have a market. It's important for your market to cover all of your houses, otherwise they won't give you, the right amount of both gold from the market, but also from buying luxuries, things like this. So this is the market in the middle. I've put also a couple of other services in the middle. It's not like you have to, some of them you could put somewhere else, but definitely something, for example, the school, you want your people to go to school close to their houses. Or over here, the hospital, right, which is the improvement of the doctor. You also want it to be probably pretty close to your people. And then next to it, we have over here the library, which is providing entertainment as long as you have books. We have also a couple of other services, like the pub over here, which is going to provide money as long as you have beer. We have over here a temple, so providing spirituality to your people. If you look over here at my happiness, you will see all types of things that they want, and definitely spirituality, entertainment are some key things that you need to give them. And then you're gonna have also a lot of decoration. Some of them are pretty big, and some of them do give something else, like this one also gives entertainment. The pave festival pole, which is the improvement of the normal one, and others are a lot more simple, like this bush over here gives you 1 or 2 points of desirability. This flower urn gives 3 to 4 depending on where it is, and then we have this medium statue over here and many others. So with that we get to a pretty high desirability level. We can actually check it. So desirability is this one, more than 100. You can see 117, 134, 38. So really high level of desirability in this corner, in that one too, and obviously not so much on many other parts of the city. So this is the main things. Of course, I have put roads pretty much everywhere, making kind of a grid. It is not necessary. I did it because I feel like this looks nice. I like grids, but it is actually not necessary. Your people are able to walk without any roads. It does make them go faster if you have roads, and in particular, you can upgrade the dirt road into a paved road, like I did over here for kind of the main central road over here, and they will go even faster over here, right? But it's not necessary again. Last but not least, you do need also a couple of improved wells for 2 things. The first one is they need water. You can see in each house there is water. so you don't want them to have to walk too far to get it. And the second is if there is, fire, you want water to be not too far. So that is the key thing. And again, as I said, we're basically copying it on the other side. The only buildings that are slightly different are the 3 monuments, the civic monument over here, the military monument, and the economic monument. These are the tier 4 services right at the back over here that you unlock once you've done all of the research right at the top over here. So they give you pretty good bonus. And then we also have the theater where, one theater for your whole city is totally enough. You don't need more. So let's move on to farming, because I think this is a very big one that will start over here, continues on this side, continues here too, and even a couple of places there. So let's start by not what you build first in a city, but what definitely will give you most of the food at the end when you have a city of this side. These are these fields, these farms, right? Where you can put sometimes just very few workers if they are small, but you can even go to 12 for each of these. For me, I'm going to 6, it's fine. I know maybe it's not the most efficient. I may lose a couple of crops here and there. I'm not sure why. Who ate something here? Oh, no. Yeah, there is a deer. Where did you come from? Oh, it must have come from this place here. Okay, which is why usually I always put those fences around my farms to make sure that the deers don't come and eat the food. But apparently it seems like we missed one over here. So I'll need to add one there. But yeah, basically these are the farms where on a 3-year rotation, you will be able to put many different types. You have over here the beans, peas, so they're pretty similar but not the same. Carrots, the turnip, we have the flax fiber for making clothes, we have the wheat to make bread, but also a few other things and much more. So this is really critical, all of them, really complex. I'm gonna make a guide on this one. I'm not gonna go into detail now, but a full guide to explain how it works. The key thing I'll say over here is we are making sure that we have a very low weed level and rockiness, and we have a very high fertility on all of those fields. You can see 100%, and we're rotating a couple of different types of food that we're gonna use in the rest of our city. I also have a small one here that's dedicated to hay, because the animals like to eat hay, and this is why also over here we have some reserves. These animals are the ones over here. We have cows, different types of cows, as well as goats. So this is the goat barn, the upgraded one by the way, and we have 2 of these large barns for the cows. The way it's gonna work is, again, you need to give them food. In this case right now it seems we're giving grain, sometimes we're giving hay. You can also give a couple of other things like carrots, also fine, etc. But anyway, you tell them where they're going to graze. In this case for us, they're grazing over here, and they're going to then do a couple of things. These animals over here, they're going to give you milk, and then every year, as long as you have people working there, you're also going to have a birth rate, in this case 6. Because we have a limit of 20, 6 are going to, when 6 are born, 6 are going to be killed to give us some meat, some pelt, and some tallow. So we get quite a lot of different things from these productions over here, which then we're going to transform on site. There's no need to send it elsewhere, we're going to transform it on site. So for example, the milk over here is going to be transformed into cheese. We're going to transform the meat into smoked meat. We're going to send the tallow over here to make some soap, and the pelt is the only one that's going somewhere over here. So that's what's happening on this side, and we have a very similar but slightly different one on this side, which is the chicken. We have 2 chicken coops, where again, this is the same concept. You need to make sure they have place to graze, you need to give them some food, hay and grain or carrots, etc. You're gonna have some birth, and when you have some births, you're gonna kill them to get some meat. In this case, only meat, you don't get pelts and tallow. And instead of milk, you get eggs. And for these, the eggs, we're not gonna do anything, we're just gonna eat them to send them to our markets. So that's what's happening over here. While we're here, let me just show you a small thing, which is for my soap production, you also need some herbs. And instead of trying to find herbs in the wilderness where you can be killed, even if, there's some not too far, could get there, what you can also do towards the end of the game is have multiple of those forager gardens. It's only one worker, it's a pretty small space, and you can have a garden with this expansion. This is the tier 2, right? Not the, I forgot what it's called. Let's go to food production. It's not the forager shack, it's a forager garden. So in that garden, you can choose what to plant, and then you can just have it on site. Then we move to the last big piece of our kind of raw production of food, which are all of those arborists. We have 5 arborists building, making some apples, some peach, and I actually don't make a lot of pears. I focus on apple and peach because the apple gives you the best, efficiency. It gives you the best, number of fruits per year. And then you have the peach, which is on a different timeline. So that way I can also get, at slightly different times of the year, some also from here. So yeah, we're planting them here, there, and there. So many of those things, as I said, we treat directly on site, but some of them we won't. So for example, the grain definitely will go over here into this place. We have 2 granaries focused on grain. They're full, that's great. And we have one that is focused on the flour. Flour, is made in the windmill from the grain. And then we're gonna take this flour into the bakery here to make some bread, as well as into the upgrade of the bakery, which is the pastry shop, where you can make the bread, but also some pastry with flour, preserves, honey, and eggs. So that's what's happening over here. And then the cool thing is I'm bringing all of those food over here. Each of these is dedicated to one type of food. For example, here, smoked meat. Then we have the beans over here. We have the bread, etc. Each of them dedicated to one type of food. So it's easier for the market, I don't know, they're called the market people, the people that work at the market to come and restock, right? They go over here, they restock, and they don't have to go all the way to the other side of the map. So that's how we're doing food. We have a city, we have food, and then we're gonna have our industry. And you could separate your heavy industry with your light industry. I'm just gonna go through it quickly, where you can see kind of corners that are dedicated to different things. So for example, over here, this is my preserves, where I'm gonna take the fruits and the vegetable, turn them into those 2 things here, the preserves and the preserves vegetables. This is over here my, let's call it metallurgy corner, because we have a lot of the mines here. So the mines will deliver into these stockyard. We have 1 for each, 1 for iron over here, 1 for coal, etc., etc. Then they're going to go into foundries. We have multiple foundries to transform it into iron. Then we're gonna use this iron to make things, right? To make heavy tools, heavy weapons, normal weapons, tools. It's all of those things happening here. And the last one is the glass maker, right? So also very close to where it's being used. We have over there a couple of others, for example, the beer or the barrels. We have here all of the wood productions. So the actual sustainable forester camp where, we're planting trees all the time and we're only cutting when it's mature, and I'm making enough. We have 5,000 of logs, not a problem. So this is where the kind of only production that is outside of the walls. All of the other productions are inside my walls. This one, only one that outside. So it goes here, then it's gonna go into this large stockyard. We're gonna use then this wood to make a couple of things. For example, to make the firewood into this line over here, to make some planks into this line there. Then we're gonna also use some of those planks or logs to make arrows, bows, and crossbows. Some of it to make no, this one is a different one, sorry. Some of it to make the wagon, some of it to make furniture. So it's all of the wooden things over here. We continue, we have a small extension here because this is the only place I found with deep clay deposit. So that way it's unlimited We have unlimited clay that's coming from here, going into this deposit. Then we have 2 of these brickyards to transform into bricks. We also have an unlimited of stone there, even if it's paused, because we also have another one here, including also iron there, coal there. So as I said, it's all inside. And then of course you're gonna have a lot of other smaller productions. For example, over here, this is my basket with all of the willow being produced on site. We have some paper production that is over here and over there next to our Grand Academy, and a few other things. And then you may have realized that there are military buildings that are across the city. We have some right in the middle there, another one here, another one there, another one on this side. So that way, regardless of where I'm being attacked, I can easily send at least a couple of troops. And we will also have a couple of these mazes, which are what I call kill zones. Right? Like the enemy will want to go through this because there is no gate here, so it's open. We will want to go through this rather than trying to destroy the double or triple walls that we have everywhere else. But when they get into the kill zone, this is when again I'm gonna have a couple of soldiers waiting, and I'm gonna have a lot of towers shooting at them. So one is on this side, one is over here, a really big one. Then we have again double or triple walls everywhere. We have another one here, and the final one is on this side. So this kind of covers really well of regardless where the raiders are coming from, they usually really go there and not go anywhere else. So it is, ladies and gents, this is this amazing city of more than 1,200 people working really well, tier 5 houses and all of this. If you want to be able to play this save yourself, to continue it, to learn from it, don't hesitate again to check on my Patreon page, which you can find in the video description below, to get it for yourself. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.